So the budget for 2022 has been tabled. The big takeaways: no change in the current tax structure, but the tax relief has been extended till March 2023. That is, the old structure has been increased till March 2023. Digital assets will be taxed at 30%, and the person who receives it as a gift will be taxed, is what the finance minister has turned around and said. So does that encompass all that is cryptocurrency, and is now cryptocurrency allowed but at a 30% tax rate? That's the big question. Or was the focus more on NFTs, which have also become very popular these days? So that is something which is going to be a big talking point. The other aspect is the government has announced that it is stepping into the digital currency arena with the RBI going to roll out the digital rupee in this current year. And it will be based on blockchain technology. The focus, the priority, the finance minister has said, is Gati Shakti, inclusive development, productivity enhancement and investment, sunrise opportunities, energy transition and climate action, and financing of investments, with a big thrust to help the MSMEs and the hospitality industry, which has really suffered because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Pallavi Ghosh now joins us with more details. Pallavi, the other big announcement is the credit extension to the states. 1 lakh crore has been earmarked.
Yes, and many state governments have been complaining, and I would remember, Anand, especially when those GST council meetings would take place, and they would always ask for more funds from the centre on the grounds that because of the COVID times, our costs and our earnings have fallen down, and therefore the government and the central government really needs to give us more money because we want to carry on development and infrastructure works. Well, there you have it. One, of course, it's very interesting that yesterday Finance Ministry released figures of the GST, and it was something which has broken earlier records in comparison to at least 1 year back in the same time. That's one. Second thing, of course, is that this kind of a credit extension to a state government is essentially a message from the central government to a state government that now there's no paucity of money. You have to now perform. You also have to use this for infrastructure and social benefits, and also recover from the COVID times.
Absolutely. The thrust towards blended fuel has increased. Unblended fuel will be dearer. 2 rupee excise has been levied on that. Steel scrap, the custom duty waiver has been extended to help the MSMEs. There have been multiple thrusts that we can talk about. Let's try and understand that. Pallavi, stay on with us. Let's see what all has been rolled out in this budget in 2022 by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. And as it comes out, here is the rollout. And let's try and take a look at what is going to work. Let's try and see the highlights. The digital blockchain, that digital rupee that was spoken about, becomes very interesting. The digital rupee using blockchain to be issued. So that means the government is going to get into the cryptocurrency or the digital currency domain. 30% tax on transfer of virtual digital assets. So crypto trades, those who are trading in it, they will have to pay 30% tax. And the person who receives it as a gift, the receiver, will be taxed. No change in the income tax slabs or rates, but the old tax relief procedure has been extended till March 2023. The financial year 2022-23 fiscal deficit target is at 6.4%. The revised fiscal deficit for the previous year is revised upward from 6.8 projected to 6.9%. But the finance minister says this is in line with the fact of bringing the fiscal deficit below 4% by financial year 25-26. 1.4 lakh crore GST collection in January, which is the highest ever, and the finance minister crediting the taxpayers, saying that we have got a robust tax system. The collections are an all-time high. That means there is recovery which is happening. 5G spectrum auctions will be done in the financial year 23. That's another big announcement that's come through. Also, there will be virtual classes in rural area. 1 class, 1 channel. That's also been announced. Huge thrust for Gati Shakti. Huge thrust for interlinking of rivers. And the Ken Betwa project, there has been money that has also been earmarked for the Ken Betwa project, and clearly the thrust will be for Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, those regions. Let's go back to Pallavi Ghosh. Pallavi, a lot of aspects that stand out, but no tax relief. That is something which the finance minister has not touched on, but there are custom duty reliefs, and more importantly in the hospitality and the MSMEs, they have recognized where the actual problem is, and there is going to be more credit guarantee that's been extended there.
Absolutely. In fact, there are some very interesting points and implications, I would say, of the budget. One, of course, yes, a little bit of a disappointment perhaps for the middle class because they were expecting tax reductions, but several other sops have been given. I would say that, for example, the cut in custom duty on the path of mobile phones is also a very, very significant step, Anand, because what it also means that your mobile phones can actually become cheaper. This also helps in what is called the digitalization or the digital economy, which the government is trying to push for. Using your smartphones to carry on your transactions, that's what the government really wants to do, because the government feels that this brings more transparency in the system. The black money threat, for example, the underhand dealings, that's actually done away with. 30% tax on cryptocurrency is, of course, going to be a blow to those who have been investing in that. But when the government brings in digital rupee by way of RBI, it's an acknowledgement of the fact that the cryptocurrency is here to stay. Very quickly, before I come back to Anand, the word which comes in from the finance ministry is that the Prime Minister was personally against a ban on digital rupees or a ban on cryptocurrency. He says they need to be regulated but not banned. He in fact told the finance ministry very, very specifically, and that's what our sources are telling us, is we have to accept the reality, regulate them. They can be a threat to national security. They can be misused, and that's the reason why now RBI is going to come out with digital rupees. So that's really a good news, especially for the younger generation.
Absolutely. And something which the Prime Minister has multiple times said, Pallavi, is, and he's told at the global platform, that cryptocurrency, digital currency are all currency platforms of the future. We have to try and ensure that we continue to follow them. But nations have to come together to figure out a regulation. But there has been a talk that India needs to have its own digital currency. That's been done. So what's going to be rolled out in Budget 2022? Here comes the belt with the rollouts. What's there for all of us to talk about? National telemedicine program is going to be launched, and there is a clear focus on mental health. There is a separate mental health platform which is going to be launched. So the government cognizant that COVID has also taken a toll on the mental health of the nation. So this program will be launched. It's a budget announcement. The next announcement is improve access to healthcare in remote areas. So the focus on improving our health infrastructure continues. There was a 137% jump in the budget allocations in budget of 2021, and that trend and focus on making our health infrastructure robust continues. The other aspect from the health infrastructure, from the health aspect, let's move to the other part. The budget announcement says national highways will be expanded by 25,000 kilometers. That's what's going to be done. So the interlinking, increasing connectivity, using roads, railways, ports, airports to connect India as part of Gati Shakti is going to further get an impetus. That means Mr. Gadkari and his entire team have got far more work to do, and they're ready for it. 20,000 crore outlay for national highways already. So clearly the thrust on infrastructure continues, the thrust on connectivity continues. In fact, they've also focused and talked about interlinking of rivers. More importantly, agriculture, the Ken Betwa project, and bringing about 9 lakh hectares of land, making it irrigable.